I just want to invest in people that really want to be the best that they can be. Hello, everyone. It's Todd Scrima and Jim Reed and Robyn LaVassaur, and we are doing a podcast today for realtors, our realtor partners, or I should say affiliate partners. I mean, we have life insurance salespeople, all kinds of title people listen to this that it gets sent to. So thank you for listening. Today's topic is social media versus sales, and we're going to talk about this because it is very can be very confusing these days on how we get business and where it really comes from. Let me start with a thought, and then I'm going to hand it over to Robyn because I think she has something to say on this. So at the end of each year, we have this process called year in review where we look at every single deal that closed and where it came from. You got to trace it back to exactly where it came from. And I know when I did this each year over the course of several years, it would be like 8 or so like really good referral sources like realtors and builders. And then the other 30% of closings, depending on the market conditions, was past clients, right? Because I had a lot of past clients. And that's kind of how it shook out. I look back on where exactly they come from, and there certainly was, hey, this realtor sent me one deal, but then there was another realtor sent me 16, right? Or a home builder sent me 55, right? So if you want to really know where your business comes from, that's a way of looking at the facts. Social media can be a part of all that, but it does get very confusing as you get into this. And it's been a shiny lure for people, and I don't think it's bad at all. And I'll give you my opinion in a minute. Robyn, give us your thoughts on this one.
Well, it's a pretty loaded topic, and you're exactly right. Social media is a place where for sure deals come. In fact, I tracked it one year, and 9 of my deals originated. In fact, I just got a referral the other day, and the referral came, hear me, it came through the means of Messenger on social media. That's how they got in contact with me. So my presence there is definitely important. However, once I talked to them, the referral came from a past client, but they found me on social media. Why is it so important that we understand the root of referral? Well, I think the root of a referral is so important so that 1, you know where to spend time and energy, but 2, it's also a beautiful place to show gratitude in your business because success leaves clues, right? And so when you have a past client referring you business, yes, it came through that messenger, but it really at the end of the day came through a past client. It's important that we honor that source so that, right, any good behavior, it's like training a weird metaphor, but it's like training a dog or a child or anything else, right? You want things on repeat. You have to give them praise and acknowledgement so that they keep happening. And so what I found with social media in general is that people get very lost in it. It's almost like text message. Is it fair to say for all 3 of us, texting is convenient, fast, able to happen at our time schedule, not wait for connection from the other, and then eventually it comes back, right? There's a beautiful piece. Is it also fair to say that too much text and not enough talking causes problems that we don't realize sometimes are there, right? Like because there is a level of disconnect. Social media can do the same thing. And so I really believe in general that everything in moderation. And I think that a lot of people in real estate and lending in general have gotten very caught up in social media being their business plan. And that is incredibly dangerous, I believe, for a truly well-rounded business. I think a couple things, and not to go totally off on a tangent, but a business needs several, right? It needs to be at least a stool that has 3 legs to stand, ideally 4. What I have found is that a whole bunch of people are trying to make social media a business that's a pogo stick, and you're for sure going to fall down, right? Like you can't stay up on a pogo stick forever, right? Like it's because it's a unicycle, if you will, right? It's a one pillar business, and that's a risk. And so social media, I could go on and on about it in the agent's world, but having presence on there, I believe, is incredibly important. Having recognition that you are even a real estate agent or a lender is important. Where people get lost is that they think people are on there. The first word in social media is social. What it isn't is advertising. And what I think people get lost in is being on social media and advertising themselves over and over and over again. And it's the fastest way to get unfollowed when people feel like you're essentially pushing an agenda versus making real estate part of your life. And I'll give you an example, Todd. In the Disneyland, the mortgage Disneyland, you had all of these realtors, and I actually taught a class on it in Eugene. You had all these realtors posting constantly, listed, multiple offers, over asking, sold in one day. Every agent out there, over and over and over and over again. Jimmy, what message do you think that delivers to consumers?
You didn't charge enough for my house.
So, okay, so there's one
that?
negative. You didn't charge enough for my house.
He was giggling. I'm like, you saw it one day. I didn't get enough
so
for
you
my
didn't
house.
get enough.
Like,
What other messages? Write a narrative to that, you guys. You're just an average borrower scrolling.
You're super important, and I'm not. Like, a couple of things that you said that I want to emphasize is, like, social media is a tactic, not a pillar. Like, it's a tactic to support the pillars of your business, past clients, right? It's a tactic to support that. It's not a pillar, which would turn it into advertising. I don't know, I just want to say
you're 100% right. Well, when you think about the narrative, you hit the nail on the head. You listed my house too cheap. Why do I need a realtor if houses can sell in 24 hours with multiple offers? Minimizes the value. Right? There's no story behind it. You didn't talk about the hard work that you put in, right? So in a consumer's mind, they write their own narrative. And what I have found often is that on social media, we're not great at giving a story. We're great at giving highlights. And then we think in our mind that we just got done working for the day by telling everybody that you sold a couple houses, right? With over asking offers and those kind of things. We're treating it like that's our sales time. It's not. That's a highlight reel that really, I mean, I'll just be super honest, and lenders are just as guilty of it. It's really it can be almost an egotistical, I think by default, highlight reel. Because you're not talking about, hey, here's all the work that I did prior to it. Here's the journey and story of this young couple that bought their first home, what they went through to get into it, how many offers we didn't get accepted, if you will, or how many, I've been talking to these guys about listing their home for 2 years. They were really nervous. Here's all the things we went through. We're not great at the story. We're not great at the value that we personally add, right? It's that frame message tie down on social media. And then we believe that people see, hey, if you guys right now on your own social media, and granted we're in the business, but I ask this all the time, if you look up 5 people you think for sure would use you as a lender or realtor, 5 people that you think for sure would choose you, go look and see how many other realtors and lenders they're friends with. And I bet they all think the same thing. But the problem is we want to believe, hey, they're friends with me on social. We chat on each other's posts. They're for sure going to choose me as a realtor, even though I have never said to them, hey, Jim, let's go have a cup of coffee. Let's talk about your future real estate plans. And let's make sure that you know that not only I am a realtor, which you can obviously tell on Facebook or Instagram or any place else, but that you know that I'd like to be the realtor that you work with that adds value to you in your life.
Yeah, you're talking about the difference between marketing and sales.
And social media is drowning that out a little bit, and people believe it because once in a blue moon, somebody messages them and says, hey, I'd like to buy a house. And then they're like, it's working. Social media works. I just closed a transaction. And then they're like, post until they have nothing to post about. It's really a broken message. And you said it perfectly. Marketing and sales, 2 very different things. Elaborate on that.
Well, marketing is about getting your name out and your brand out, but sales is about relationships and filling needs. Anne we were with 6 teenage boys yesterday, and this one kid, she's like, oh, he's a really good salesperson. Well, no, he's not. He's a really good fibber. That's not sales. He's willing to say whatever it takes, but he can't deliver. That's not sales. That's a temporary job. It'll last about 2 days. Sales is finding an authentic need, having a deep enough relationship where they trust you, and then delivering repetitively. Like, so people can count on you. That's when they refer you, right? Marketing is, hey, don't forget about me. I'm still here. Don't forget about me. Sales is, now we made contact. Let me get to know you so I can deliver on my promises and take care of you. And oh, yeah. People say, oh, yeah. But which one matters most, marketing or sales?
Sales.
Is that true?
I believe it's sales.
I believe it, Todd. I'm asking, is it true?
100%.
Yeah, if you make enough sales calls, you'll win.
Well, marketing is the way to hide from sales.
Yeah, that's the undercurrent of how most people use it.
Yes, that's all I'm saying. And listen, I don't know social media. I'm not an expert. You can see me writing notes. I've already got 4 bullet points of things that I can go back and teach. So I'm just like, I'm a student. Keep going.
Yeah, we were at Robyn and I were at an event, speaking at this event, and there was some person up there speaking about social media, and Robyn just looked him up on my MMI, and man, $1,000 suit, look good looking man, $1,000 suit, screaming up on stage about social media. Robyn just showed me your phone. I think it was, I want to say 3 loans a month average. It was something like that.
I know the person. I looked him up as well.
Yeah, and I was just like, whoa. Now, different, there are things that, this is not a social media class, but there are do's and don'ts. There are things that you can do to really engage people, but it's typically not, hey, I'm going to post on Facebook, whatever. And it's not a bad thing to do. It's kind of like, how we're all supposed to mail to our past clients? For most people, it's like that. Like, you're supposed to post and have a brand and tell stories so that it can develop some emotional appeal, but it's not really there to sell your services, which is how most people
7 to
interpret.
1. 7 posts that help them in some other way, and 1 post about your business.
And it's a reminder, right?
Post.
It's a reminder. It's not a connection. So it's it's one of those things. And what's funny is I sit in rooms of realtors and I'll teach and coach, and I'll say, how many of you guys in the last month have gone on to social and saw a friend of yours say they are shopping for a home or just sold their home with somebody other than you?
Yeah.
Whoops.
And in every room,
Oopsie.
It's kind of like in your own neighborhood. How painful is it for a realtor to drive home through their own neighborhood and see their neighbor has a sign in their yard that isn't theirs and they live right next door? But I say every single time, and I say this with all the love and respect in the world, I had to learn this as a loan officer because I was relying on people liking me, remembering me, calling me if they needed me. And once I started realizing, hey, my job is to get out there and, like Jimmy said, sell, add value, be in a relationship, find a need and fill a need, right? Serve others. All of a sudden, I didn't leave it up to guesswork and the hope that somebody saw me on social media and saw lender next to my name. I then made those connections, and then social media just kept me top of mind with people, but the connections were already there and formed. And I think that's the critical part that sometimes people get away from right now, thinking social media is doing all inclusive work for you. It's not.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah, sales is cake and social media is frosting.
Amen.
Yeah.
So bake the cake.
Yeah. Well said. We will end on that one. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you for your business. There is all kinds of great things going on here. I want you to know that we can take care of any single borrower you throw our way. So keep sending them, because you're the lifeblood of our business is your referrals. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Robyn.
Robyn.